This is a Google Sheet that can help you organize your thoughts on the different programs that you interviewed with. So as you're thinking about your rank order list, I want to show you really quickly how it works. The first thing to do so that you can use the worksheet is make a copy for yourself. So you'll do that by going to File on the upper left menu, select Make a Copy, and then name it whatever you would like and save it into your own drive, and that way you can edit the file. So select Make a Copy and you'll be ready to go. I also think it's smart to leave the initial sheet here as it is and make a couple of duplicates. That way you can just right click on the tab, then hit duplicate, and then you can rename this one. This way you always have kind of a clean copy, and then once you've done that, you're ready to get started. So the first thing to think about is the different categories. These categories are just meant to be examples of things that you might consider important for your residency training. You can change them, you can delete some of them. The point is that they're completely customizable so that you can include whatever is most important to you. Then we have row 5, which is the weight of each category. And this is a system where you have 100 points that you can use to distribute amongst all your different categories. So the categories that you value the most, you're going to give them the most points. In this example, I gave quality of training the most points at 25. Location is also very important to me. So is program culture. And then you can see that the other numbers are filled in to reflect some categories that were not quite as important. The total has to equal 100. So again, you have 100 points to play with and you can distribute them however you would like. The point of this is that the algorithm that's hidden in the worksheet, when you assign a category more weight or more credit, it's going to impact the final score for that program. So the final score is not just a sum or an average, it actually gives more weight to those categories that you assign more points to. If you skip down to the bottom section, starting with row 7 and then go all the way down to row 19, this is where you're going to score your programs. So the sheet uses a simple scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. For example, let's say for University A, I really love the location, so I'm going to give that a 5. Quality of training there is pretty good, but maybe not as good at some of the others on my list. So it's going to get a 3.5. The program culture seems phenomenal. There's no dedicated research here, so that's going to get a 1. So you just go through and evaluate each of the categories for each of your different programs, which you would type in here. And at the end, you will have a score for each program. If you scroll down just a bit, you'll see that the scores are automatically output into an organized list that goes from the highest scoring program to the lowest scoring program. And then you'll have a version of your rank order list that you can look at. The purpose here is not to suggest that you should use the output from this exercise as your final rank order list. It's more so to assess how you feel when you see the results. So, for example, are you disappointed that the program that's ranked 3rd is 3rd? Did you hope that it would be higher, or were you hoping it would be lower? That's why we've included an extra column here for you to record any reflections that you have right away as your first impression as soon as you see what the output is. After you're done recording your reflections, you can do a couple different things. You can either come back up to the top and tinker around with some of your scoring up here if you weren't really happy with your final list, or if you just maybe want to make some adjustments now that you've seen how things played out. You can also make adjustments to how you've weighted things if you realize maybe that you gave something a little bit too heavy of a weight or that something isn't heavy enough. If you want to leave this how it is and kind of have a record of your initial work through, then you would go through the process of just making a copy, which we did earlier, just down at the bottom, right click, duplicate, and you can name this one ROL 3. That's it. I hope this is useful.